Hey, it's Joshua Carey here, Pet Sittingology. Wanted to make this video. I received an email through my Facebook page from pet sitter Laura Milholland, who asked a great question, so I figured I would answer it here for everybody watching. Her question says, I recently purchased your Start a Pet Sitting Business in 45 Days program, and I've had a really hard time finding a domain name that ends in .com. I currently own the domain doggoneperfectpets.net. That's doggoneperfectpets.net. Is that going to really hurt my SEO, she asks. Should I scrap that name and try to find something else? Any advice would be very much appreciated. Well, advice I can give. First of all, you say doggoneperfectpets.net. I did a quick search and it seems like doggoneperfectpets.com is in fact available. So if you wanted to go for that .com, as far as the time of this recording, it seems like you can. But there's a bigger picture we need to look at. You say you currently own the domain doggoneperfectpets.net. Is that going to really hurt my SEO? Well, in and of itself, no domain name, including a .net, will hurt your SEO. Any domain name, for the most part, will put you on a fine track to start building your SEO. More importantly, it's about what builder you use. Are you using WordPress, which works very well? So again, you want to consider what website tool you're using to build your website when you're talking about SEO. And also, you want to consider what content you're putting on your page. So as long as you have good, valuable, original, unique content on any domain name, even if it's a .net or a .org or a .anything for that matter, that won't in and of itself hurt your SEO. There's a lot more to consider. So while we're on the subject, you want to ask yourself, let's talk about the domain name question. Is a .net domain name okay? I've written plenty on the topic, and I'll link to some articles under this video so you can further read about my thoughts on what makes a good domain name and that sort of a thing. But let me go over some points. Google used to, in the past, give weight to a domain name that had keywords placed in it. So for example, if I wanted to target the keyword dog walking New York, and I was able to buy the domain name dogwalkingnewyork.com, some short time ago, Google would reward that a little bit more as placing my pages higher potentially for those keywords. But they've since come out and said domain keywords don't rank as well as they used to. So you don't have to worry about necessarily getting in keywords into the domain name. So what do you want to consider? What do you need to focus on when it comes to choosing a good domain name? Well, there are a few things. First of all, in my case, and I hope your case, the vast majority of the people finding your website are going to do a Google search and click on the link. So to go to your website. So they're not going to be typing anything in. So if your web address is supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.com, hopefully that would be fine because they're going to see it in the search results and click through to it. So you want to make sure that your domain name looks good on paper, is easy to say, and is easy to spell. So if you have a lot of business cards and you're planning on giving out your business cards all over, you're planning on doing a lot of networking and wearing t-shirts and maybe on a car wrap, you're going to be printing your domain name. If that's the case, you do want an easier to read, an easier to remember, and an easier to spell domain name because your potential clients are also going to be typing it in. So something like doggoneperfectpets.net in your original question that you typed, I see is a little chunky. You got the two G's in the middle, you got the two R's in the middle, so I would choose something a little more simple. Let me give you an example. I was recently talking to a pet sitter, Carolyn Sturgill, on the phone recently, and she's the owner of Positively Priceless Pet Sitting. That's the name of her business, Positively Priceless Pet Sitting, and that used to be her domain name. PositivelyPricelessPetSitting.com, a mouthful for sure. She smartened up. She realized after a while that this was the case. She currently owns the domain name PPPVB.com. PPP for Positively Priceless Pet Sitting, and VB for Virginia Beach. That's her area that she serves. So her domain name is PPPVB.com. Works better, looks better. It might not work for everybody. Also realize 3-letter domain names and 4-letter domain names and even some 5-letter domain names are usually difficult to find. So just keep that in mind when you go forward. The final piece of the puzzle is that your domain name is also going to be part of your email address. So it's going to be you@yourdomainname.com. So also consider that going forward. Okay, so choosing a domain name, deciding on one is a big topic, a great topic. It is something you need to consider. And I also have a video and articles on what if you want to change your domain name right now? How is it possible? All is not lost. You do have some options. I'll try to link to them below this video as well. The bottom line is that always keep thinking for the good of your clients, for your potential clients, and for your community. Thanks for your question, Laura. I hope this has helped. Keep your questions coming. Facebook.com/PetSittingology, and we'll keep the conversation going. Talk to you guys soon.